People are understanding something, are bringing peace in their lives. And you can be a part of the magic regardless of where you are. What I've actually come to talk to you about is very simple. Because I know people go to different seminars, go to different lectures, read different books, because they want to be better. They want to be rich. They want to progress in their job. They want to be better cooks. They want to be better mothers, better drivers, better pilots. But this is not what this is about. And in this day and age, this is quite exceptional. And it's very nice to see that there is a lot of people who are interested. Because this is about not becoming better. This is about realizing who you are. This is about truly seeing yourself. Everything in life, for so many of us, is about achieving. Achieving name, achieving fame, accomplishing something. But we fail to see what already has been accomplished. Appreciation. Appreciation in life is extremely, extremely important. Without appreciation, it is like having food that has no flavor. It is like having ice cream that has no sugar, no sweetness. And so, what is it that we need to appreciate in our life? And one thing is definitely true. You can only appreciate that which can be appreciated. So is there something in us? Because we live our lives, we have our jobs. Some days things are good, some days things are not so good. Some days it feels like you're dragging. Some days it feels like you're flying a little bit till you hit a wall, then you go, okay. Then you have your Saturdays and Sundays, and you do kind of the similar thing. And then Monday comes, and then you do the same thing, and then the Tuesday comes, and it does the same thing. Till one day, your cake, your birthday cake, has too many candles. And it's hard to blow out. That's the day you change the rule. Only one candle, please. It's too many. When you're young, you want all 10. Maybe when you were 20, you could blow out 20. And you get to 50, it's like, no, just put 5, that's it. Because I cannot blow out 50 candles. And so, then you begin to realize that life is passing by very quickly. And have you truly accomplished what you want to accomplish? And in this world, there's only 2 ways to survive. Only 2. One is that you find that joy, that you find that beauty, that you find that wonder that fills your heart. Or suppress the feeling. Suppress the feeling. Learn to live without wanting happiness. So sad. But that's what people do. We think our happiness is associated with what we have accomplished. When we have a nice house, yeah, this is great. When we have a nice car, this is great. When we have a nice wife, that's great. When we have nice children, that's great. When we have a nice this, that's great. But do you know that happiness has nothing to do with any of that? No, I'm not just saying this. There are people who say things like that and it just sounds good. Yeah. And I see a lot of people shaking their head, yes. But you see, I'm in a unique position to have witnessed something that even shocked me. I'm the one who talks about happiness. I'm the one who talks about peace. I'm the one who talks about joy. People have expectations of me that I am in a constant state of happiness, which is not true. People have expectations of me that I'm in a constant state of joy, which I know is not true. But I was shocked. And where was I shocked? When I went to prison. Not that I did something wrong. I went to the prison to see some prisoners. They had invited me, come, talk to us. And the last one that I went to was in South Africa. Even approaching the prison, it was barbed wires, razor wires, electric fences, on. And I was like, I'm going to see prisoners. I'm sure they're not happy. And so then when I started talking to them, I realized I looked at them and they had smiles on their faces. And one of them actually stood up and said, when people told me that you were going to come, I said, no way is he going to come to this prison. No way. Said, you're busy, you're traveling. Why would he come here? And then when I showed up, he says, I cannot believe it. And he had a smile about that big. I still see his face. He had a smile about that big. I can't even smile that big. And he was so profoundly happy. So I'm shocked. And at the same time, I know that the reality is much kinder. That the joy exists in the heart of every single human being. That the peace exists in the heart of every single human being. No one is void of the most essential human treasures. No one. That everyone is sent on the face of this earth with the most incredible and divine treasures one can imagine. And Kabir says the same thing. No one is a beggar. No one is truly hungry. He's not talking about stomach hunger. He's talking about the inner hunger. He's talking about the inner riches. That nobody is poor. No one is hungry. It is just that we have forgotten to open the package. The package that is the heart. You look at this world, we fight. Of course we fight. And there are people who accept the fighting as legitimate. As legitimate. And I say to them, then why do you have a mouth? Why do you get into your language so much? Everywhere I go, people are into their language. No. That's not how you pronounce it. You pronounce it like this. You know, an American pronouncing tierra will go tierra. And I have seen Spanish. You know, it's not tierra, it's tierra. But why? Do you know how many dictionaries there are? Do you know how many thesaurus there are? You know how many people take the elocution classes? Why? If you're not going to talk, why do you even have a cabeza? Monkeys, baboons, they have figured it out. You see them sitting You look at a baboon. All of a sudden he'll go, and then he'll take a big yawn, show his teeth. People thought, oh, look at the monkey, he's going like this. He's telling everybody something. Behave yourselves. And when they're still not behaving, he takes the yawn, shows his teeth. Be careful. The monkey has learned how to talk, communicate. And human beings, no, we have to fight. In the animal kingdom, they fight. But first, if they can avoid it, they avoid. And here we are, the monkeys that haven't learned that yet. And we pride ourselves. We are the crown of creation. Can we act like one? If we are crown of creation, at least we can act like one. Civilized. But in our being civilized, there's more wars and more wars and more wars and more wars. People tell us something and we go, oh yeah, that's how it is. In America, a few years back, invest in Enron. And everybody goes, invest in Enron. And I was like, I told somebody, I said, maybe I should invest in Enron. But it didn't happen. Then the next thing you know, it was fake. It was fake. Now, if you hear a little child crying, and you go up to the child and say, oh, why are you crying? And the mother goes, he's not really crying, he's faking it. You go, what? Yeah, he's not really crying. And then you look at the child, and sure enough, he's not crying, he's just going, eh. I understand. The little child, he does not get it that he's not really crying. But if you have an adult, grown-up adult that is doing that, going, hey, you would think, he's... My friends, these people were not just ordinary people. They were the graduates of the finest institutions on planet Earth. I am sure that their cards, the greeting cards, the introductory cards, were so incredibly impressive that you would probably want to, bow down to just the card itself. And everybody is back there again. Same place. Nobody has learned anything. Then it happens again. And it was not, that was just one institution. Then it finds out it is not just one, it is like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 big banks. How much money did they give out on paper? More than there is money on planet Earth. When I talk about fulfillment, I know people look at me and it's like, eh. Your system is better. It has fulfilled you. No. No. Listen to me. Listen to me before you become too humble. Because once humility hits, then people go, oh yeah, peace is a very good idea. Listen to me. I'm not trying to change you. I'm not trying to change you. I'm trying to tell you that what you are looking for is inside of you. Always has been and always will be. The world is trying to have manifestations of peace. Without peace, problem. When you try to have manifestations of food without food, somebody is going to go hungry. This is how it is. Who are you? Think about it. Who are you? Who are you? Here you are, on this planet Earth, not for a very long time. Sorry. But who are you? You want me to show you? I have something to show you. You know what this is? This is 99% of a human being. No, I'm not that sick. There's no human being here. It's just H2O, calcium, carbon, nitrogen, and phosphorus. That's it. This is you. This is me. You want to fall in love with this? This represents 7 billion people on the face of this earth. This little bottle, what it has in it, represents 7 billion people on the face of this earth. Hello? That's it? That's it? Or are you something more? This is going to go back in my pocket. So are you just this? Or are you something more? Are you something that I cannot put in my pocket? Are you a source of joy for yourself? Which this isn't. One day, this is what will be burnt, buried, thrown in the sea. This, what's in here, has been here for a long, long time. And will be for a long, long time. Do you know that? Some people say, oh, he's gone. He's not gone. He's still here and will be. Earth to earth, ashes to ashes. Well, that's where it came from. That's where it's going to go. And that's where it's going to stay till it comes back again. Nature started recycling a long time ago. That's the fact. So who are you? This? See, I did this because I can say this verbally. In fact, I talked about this yesterday, and I said it verbally, but this is so powerful. You see, and it's so insignificant, and yet this is the composition that makes you up, 99% of you. But this is what we fall in love with. I want you to fall in love with what is not in this bottle. Do you know what that is? Do you? What's not in this bottle? And that's in you. That makes you, you. Recognition of the self. Is extremely important. Socrates said, know thyself. You live under one rule, which Einstein said, everything that's created will be destroyed. You remember? You know Einstein, right? You remember Einstein? You read about Einstein. Pretty smart fellow. Said everything that's been created will be destroyed. Yikes. So who are you? Do you have the recognition of the self? I'll tell you a story. I told this story probably, God knows, long, long time ago when I was a little boy. And I'm going to tell it tonight. There was a jungle, and in this jungle there was a lion. And the lion was the king, and he was ruthless. Every time he'd get hungry, he'd just go out there and he'd pounce on the animals and kill many animals and then just eat one. So all the animals realized that pretty soon there'll be not many left. So they went up to the lion and they said, "We have a request. And the request is that we will just voluntarily send you one animal every day. So you don't ruthlessly kill the ones that you're not even going to eat. And that way you don't have to go hunting. An animal will come to the mouth of your cave every day, and you can eat it and be happy." The lion said, "Okay, that sounds pretty good." It was very sad for the rest of the animals, but it was better than what was happening. So they would send one animal and everybody would be very sad. The family of that animal would be very sad, but they would send the animal and it'd get eaten. One day, it was the turn of a little rabbit. The rabbit started walking towards the cave. He had no choice. And he's walking, and he's walking, and he's walking, and he's thinking to himself, there has to be a way. This lion must have a weakness. And I must exploit this weakness. So he's walking and walking and walking, and purposely, as slow as he can, taking his time. And he arrives there hours late. The lion is furious. "Come here! I'm gonna eat you. This is disgusting. All the bets are off. I'm going to start killing everybody like I used to. How come they sent you? You're not even a mouthful. And at that you arrive late." And the rabbit said, "Hang on. Let me explain what happened." All the animals realized that I was only a mouthful. So they sent 5 of us for you, 5 rabbits. And as we were coming here, there is another lion. And this lion said that he was going to eat. And we all explained to him, no, we're for the big lion and so on and so forth. But believe me, this lion was even bigger than you are. And he said he doesn't care about you. And so he ate 4 of the other ones. I ran with my life. Here I am, eat me. The lion was furious. Said, "Who is this lion? Where is this lion? I am going to settle the score before I eat you." And the rabbit says, "Okay, come with me, I'll show you." So the rabbit led him to a well. And the rabbit says, he's in there. The lion came up, looked down, roared, and the echo from the well and the reflection he sees, and it looks bigger. And he immediately backed off. He's like, oh my God, this is a bigger lion. So the little rabbit goes, well, see, I told you. He's bigger than you. He's more ferocious than you. And looks like your days are over. You're going to have to run. And the lion went, no! I will fight with that lion. And the rabbit said, well, are you sure? He said, absolutely, we have to do this. There can only be one king, and I want to be the king, not him. And immediately the lion jumped into the well. The rabbit was happy. And what was the weakness that he exploited? The lion did not know that that reflection was of him. That was the weakness. Not too long ago, I was talking to someone, and this just came out of my mouth, and after it had, I went, hey, this is pretty good. And this is what I said to this person. I said, you are the mother of your thoughts. And the father of your actions. You are the mother, and just like a mother, the thought grows in the womb, in your head. You're the mother of your thoughts and father of your actions. We know without air, you can live. I know there are people who can hold their breath for a longer period of time, but generally accepted rule of thumb is you can be without air, without breathing, for 3 minutes. These are the things that are important to us. So, air, 3 minutes. 3 hours without being in accommodation which is warm. 3 hours, you will get hypothermia, you're dead. Could be. 3 weeks, you could live. 3 days you could live without water, and 3 weeks you could live without food. These are important things. That's why we need clean air. Air is important. That's why we need clean air. That's why we need clean accommodations. That's why we need clean water, and that's why we need clean food, not contaminated food. This is well known. But what else we need? We need clean thought. If the thoughts are contaminated, it's not going to happen. No matter what you do, peace will not be around you. And this, nobody pays attention to. Every day, on. What am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? Doubt. You think believing is easier than knowing? Nope. Believing is much more complicated. Knowing is a lot simpler. I know some of you are going like, really? People have been trying to believe. And those believers keep writing new books and coming up with new definitions because nobody knows. Because nobody knows, anybody who says anything goes. But when you know, there is no reason to sit there and try to define anything. You know. Once upon a time in the court of this king, somebody brought a mango. Seeing this curious fruit, the king said, "What is it?" The ambassador said, "A mango." The king said, "What is a mango?" "It's a fruit." "How does it taste?" The mango was cut open, sliced. A little portion was given to one of the ministers. He ate, and he said, "Actually, it tastes very good." Tastes very good. It kind of tastes sweet. The king said, "I still don't know. I still don't know what mango is." Second minister get up, I will do it. So he takes a little bit of mango and he says, "Well, actually, it's got this really nice nuttiness to it, a little bit of sourness in the background, but it's nice and sweet and has a beautiful pungent aroma." And the king said, "I still don't know." Went around. I don't know, till the last one little piece left. Wise man. He took that, put it on a plate, offered it to the king. The king tasted it and goes, "Now I know what a mango is." Do you notice how many definitions there are of the divine in this world? These are people trying to describe. And if they are not busy describing, they're busy trying to tell you what is written in the sacred scripture, what it really means. You know how many of them there are? Describing and describing and describing and describing and describing. No, this is what it really means. No. In your life, don't just read about peace. In your life, don't just hear about peace. In your life, don't just discuss peace. Feel peace. In your life, don't just hear the descriptions of the divine. In your life, don't just hear the definitions of the divine. In your life, don't hear the discussions of the divine, but feel the divine. That's what has to happen. Now I know people are going, how? How? How is that possible? Easy. Easy. Very, very easy. If you don't remember anything from today, whatever I've said, remember this. It's just one thing. And I don't really care who you are. Whatever you are looking for is inside of you. There is one thing you never have to search for. You know what that is? The divine. I bet there are people here who have been searching for a long time. They've searched here, and they have searched there, 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 and they have searched there. When I was a little boy, I was going to school in India. And then one day, some people came, and they were from England. They came, in the truest sense, hippies. So Dehradun, where I was going to school, it's a small little town. At least it was. I've heard it's grown. But in Dehradun, it was such a little town, and it was very sweet. You did not need a credit card. You did not need cash. You could buy anything, anywhere. Everybody knew everybody. They knew whose car it was. You could just pull over, put gas in it, and they would only come collecting the money, only the amount that they needed. If you owed them 100 rupees and they only needed 25, they would come and say, just give me 25 for right now. That's how it was. And so we had never seen hippies. So I come home and it's like, wow. And they had traveled in a van all the way from England to India. Only to hear what you are looking for is inside of you. Because the people, definitions, discussions, ideas, concepts. Where is the divine? On top of a mountain. Only on top of the mountain. If you haven't found the one at the bottom, What is the point of climbing the top? You missed that one. You see, my friends, peace is the only thing you cannot search for. Divine is the only one you cannot search for. Joy is the only thing you cannot bring in, because it's already inside of you. I have been saying this for such a long time. And every time I say this, it brings a tremendous sense of joy to me. What you are looking for is inside of you. End of discussion. End of definition. And you see, I don't like to argue with people. There was a man, finally when he retired as a colonel. But he came, and he was a very Hindu person, and he was like, well, we don't believe in this, and we don't believe in this, and we just chant about the light that is within you, the divinity that is within you. We chant every day. We pay homage every day to that divinity that is within you. So I was a little boy. I was doing my homework. And somebody said, I think there's somebody who wants to talk to you. So when I came, he was sitting in the veranda and he was arguing with 4 or 5 people, however many there were. I came and I just stood behind the door, listening to the conversation. I was listening about how this was saying, and that's sufficient to chant that glory of the divine. I'm paraphrasing it, but. So I just came out and said, what is the harm in feeling it? He hadn't stopped arguing till he heard that. When he heard that, he stopped. What do you have to do? You have to know the art of looking within. It's an art. Absolutely, it's an art. And you don't know it. You know the art of creating. And remember what I said earlier on? Do you know the art of admiring? Do you know the art of witnessing? Do you know the art of appreciation? That's the word I used. Appreciation. Do you know the art of appreciation? Do you? To see untainted, to admire with no other wishes, to acknowledge with sincerity, to accept with understanding, to feel with no barriers in this life, the beauty that is within you. That's all it takes. That's all it takes. That's all it takes. To see and for the first time, truly see. To understand. To understand. For what it is. I went to the Cairo Museum quite a few years ago. And I just wanted to see it. I just wanted to see the pyramid. And the first time I was on my way to South Africa, and I stopped in Cairo. And when I stopped, by the time I got to Cairo, it was fairly late in the afternoon, evening. Sun was going down. And so I got to the hotel. I said, take me to the pyramid. I just want to see it. So don't you want a guide or something? I said, no. I don't want a guide. I just want to see it. So they drove me over to the pyramid, and I got to see the pyramid as it was. It was amazing. I was standing there looking at this thing, and I see a little Egyptian boy, and he's taking a leak on the pyramid. I'll never forget that. The next time I went there with my family, and we had a guide, and the guide was and it was fascinating. It was getting a history lesson. But I just wanted to see. Here it is. Maybe once upon a time that was a great empire with pharaohs who were rich, and they built these temples, monuments to their gods, to themselves. But today, it's just a broken wall. And then, of course, the next time I went there with my family, there was this show, and the show was at night, and what they were saying is that these pyramids have stood the test of time. And I just laughed. Really? They're crumbling. Excuse me. Nothing stands the test of time. Einstein said, everything that has been created will be destroyed. That includes the galaxies, and that includes the moon, and that includes the sun, and that includes the earth, and much earlier than that, you and me will be gone. Open your eyes. Open your heart. And feel the presence of the divine. Feel. Oh, you feel the cold, and you feel the hot, and you feel the silk, and you feel the carpet, and you feel the shoes, and you feel each other's cheeks, and hey, I'm not saying that's wrong or right, but also feel the divine. These are the colors. That breath that comes into you. Without that breath, that's what you are. When you were born, everybody was watching. Are you breathing or not? Oh, you think everybody's attention goes to boy or girl? No, not quite. It's amazing. Not quite. The first attention goes to breathing or not. And you take your first breath and it comes in. It doesn't go out, it comes in. And you begin. And what is the last act you will perform? That was the first act. What is the last act you will perform? The breath will go out and not come back in. No difference between you and this bottle. Breath is the blessing of the divine that's holding at bay the power of death. It is the breath that allowed you to come home. If you weren't breathing, you think you were coming home? No. It is the breath that allows you to love. It is the breath that indeed allows you to live. Feel the presence of the divine. Is this spiritual? No. There are people who like spirituality. I must make a confession to you. I am not one of them. There are Indians who come to me and talk about the chakras. And I tell them the only thing round that I know that's in my back are the discs in the spine. This chakra opens and then that chakra opens. I know in the evening this opens, food goes in the morning, I hope something else opens and it comes out. That's the extent of my spirituality. If you are into spirituality, more power to you. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to talk you out of it. You believe whatever you want to believe. You are entitled to believing whatever you want to believe. I am just saying, know the divine. Doesn't matter what you believe. Doesn't. 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 This is a big world. There's 7 billion people, and they all have their own version of how it all happens. Many, many civilizations have existed before us, and there will be other civilizations. And this doesn't matter. But in one's lifetime, one lifetime that you have, to have come on the face of this earth and not have known the divine is a tragedy. To have come and not have embraced peace, that's a tragedy. And the tragedy is the only thing I'm trying to stop. And what people believe in after so many years, I know it doesn't matter. Let them believe. Let them have their freedom to believe what they want to believe. And we need that freedom. But when it comes to the divine, there needs to be knowing. Not one day, but every single day, the rest of our lives. Appreciate, admire the most admirable that dwells in your heart. And in that knowing, you will experience freedom like you have never experienced before. The good news today is the first day of the rest of your life. Make it real. Make it real. That's what I do. That's what I do. Those people who are interested, this is my expertise. Talking is not my expertise. There are speakers who are much better than I am. Talking is not my expertise. My expertise is that I can put you in touch with that reality that dwells in your heart. That's my strength. I cannot get rid of your confusion. Why? Because confusion lives inside of you. I cannot get rid of your darkness because the darkness lives inside of you. But I also know that clarity lives inside of you. I also know that there is a light so sweet, so gentle, and so beautiful that also lives inside of you. Words cannot take away anyone's confusion, but clarity can. Gone. Knowing removes doubt like you wouldn't believe. That sweet, gentle, Light removes darkness. That's what's inside of you. Kabir says, there are drops in the ocean everyone knows, but that there is an ocean in the drop, only a few know. You're the drop, there's an ocean in this drop. And that's my forte. I can put you in touch with that threshold that can take you to the ocean that is in this drop. That's what I do. That's what I do. People listen to my stuff and they copy it. They do. Anybody can copy this. Only after. Nobody can copy it before because I don't even know what I'm going to talk about. But what comes from my heart to your heart. Not a contest. Why do I do it? You are a human being. I am a human being. A human being to human being. I have just got 2 little dogs. They're really cute. They're really cute. They're sweet. But I cannot show them the divine that is within them. I cannot. You, I can. You, I can. Because you're a human being, I'm a human being. Whatever you have heard, just remember one thing. Yes, I'm going to only repeat myself. It's not new one. Whatever you're looking for is inside of you. Thank you very much, and good night.